Welcome to session 4 of creating your customer avatar. And now we're going to bring it all together by helping you use your customer avatar to streamline your marketing. And this is how to use your customer avatar to create maximum leverage with your marketing. Now remember, your perfect customer, remember we talked about how we defined your perfect customer, or how Eric Ries in The Lean Entrepreneur defined your perfect customer and your avatar as a defined group of people who share the same problem or passion and speak the same language. So you don't define your customer by saying, oh, it's all 30-year-old females who like yoga, or it's all 40-year-old people who live in the Northwest. It's these people who all have the same problem. And when we're creating our avatar, what we're really doing is we're laser focusing on who our customers are, what the problem is that they're trying to solve, and what that also means is what motivates them to buy, where do you find them, and what do you say or how do you communicate with them to get them to take action. So when we built our customer avatars, so we go out and we did 9 customer interviews, and we saw some very consistent themes from consistent groups. And we create these groups in these segments. So one of our segments is a female holistic business coach. And so the demographic anywhere from 26 to 34 years old. And her main problem is she has fear. And the fear is not being able to make rent next month. And what she needs is more consistent income, and she wants to get more engagement on her Facebook fan page in order to get discovered so that she can have more consistent income and no longer be in fear of being able to make rent next month. So when we do these interviews, we get a lot of deep understanding, and we get the words that people are in. And so what I've seen a lot of other people do, a lot of mistakes that entrepreneurs make, is they would create marketing for a person like this and say, hey, we'll teach you how to get more engagement on your fan page. And to her, that's kind of interesting, but part of it, but the much more important part of it is understanding that she's afraid that she's not going to be able to make rent next month. And so how are we going to communicate with her in such a way that's going to show her that we can meet those needs of creating a consistent income by the mechanism of getting more engagement on her fan page? So here's what we do. We create a series of email autoresponders that identify our different market segments, and the autoresponders take people to our website that communicates the same message, or a congruent message. So when someone opts in to our website, they're going to get, over 14 days, they're going to get 8 emails. And here's one of the emails. So each email is very specific to the specific problems and challenges that our customers have, and how do we meet those challenges. So email autoresponder number 1: is your Facebook fan page engagement non-existent? And the reason why we use those specific words is when we talk to our customers who are living in fear of not having enough money, and they want to get discovered on Facebook, and they are wringing their hands about how to do this, and they're saying, gosh, my Facebook fan page sucks, our engagement is non-existent. Those words came from our interviews and our customers. Now when we send out this email with the headline that says, is your Facebook fan page engagement non-existent, our customers feel like we wrote that email just for them, for that one individual person. And guess what? We did, because we interviewed them and we found out exactly what their problem is. So we wrote the email that identifies and answers that specific problem that they have, that they are highly motivated to solve. And it leads them to a page that gives them a free video and free information, and it talks exactly how to boost your fan page engagement. So as another example, another segment, our yoga pro. Now, this person is also tired of living in fear of not having enough income. Maybe you're seeing a consistent theme here. And this person needs more customers now and wants to get them through more likes on her fan page. Now remember, there's two sides to motivation. There's moving away from pain and there's seeking pleasure. People are twice as motivated to move away from pain or solve problems. So we want to focus on how do we get them to solve problems. And again, so in another example of a mistake that most entrepreneurs make is if they were marketing to yoga professionals, they would say, we know that most yoga professionals are interested in having tons of fans so that they can travel all over the world and get invited to conferences and teach workshops all over the world. And so that's one side, that's the positive side to the marketing. But the much, much more motivating side of the marketing is, are you tired of living in fear of not having enough income? Would you like to have all the abundance that you should have and deserve consistently and automatically start bringing customers to you now so that you can grow a large page and get invited to speak all over the world? So there's two sides to the coin, and you really don't want to ignore the moving away from pain side because that's twice as motivating. So for this market segment, this is email autoresponder number 2. Here's the headline: Stop living in fear of not having enough income. Who does that address? The overwhelming majority of our customers, because that is the number one motivator of people who are solo entrepreneurs and yoga entrepreneurs who are trying to build their business. So, and then the subject in the email, in the body of the email, is the content, and it says, how to easily and automatically attract your customers now from Facebook. So there's the moving away from pain in the headline and the seeking towards pleasure, and that the rest of the content aligns with the landing page that people come to from email number 2, which is the photo album stack. Learn my number one secret that got us over 1 million likes on this page and takes less than 5 minutes a day. Our customer number 3. This is another entrepreneur. Her big problem is she has no extra time. She too needs more customers. Sometimes she's afraid of not having enough income, but she has a business, it's established, it is producing enough income. Her biggest challenge is time. And she needs more time so she can focus on her business and providing the value to her customers. So helping her people with her nutrition coaching business and just not worry about the marketing. So here's the headline that calls to her. And these are the email autoresponder number 3. The lazy entrepreneur's way to Facebook profits. Now, keep in mind that this person does not identify themselves as lazy. And I would never attempt to call a person like that lazy. But what am I doing here? What's the psychological aspect of that particular headline? The lazy entrepreneur way to Facebook profits. Well, this is a time-saving technique. It's a shortcut. It's something that is going to give her more time. And people identify with that. They say, oh, I love efficiency. I love shortcuts. I would love to not have to spend all the time marketing and just focus on my business. And this, the body of the content shows how to grow your business with social proof, and the video maintains that. So this is an example of how to communicate directly to the problem that your customers are most trying to solve, and how to do it consistently. So with some email, as well as with the link that's going to take people to content on your website, which is where they can purchase products, they can put in, they can register for something and drive traffic back to your website. So here is how we get our customers to come to us, and how you can get your customers to come to you. So when we are providing value to our existing customers, and specifically after we've done the customer avatar interviews. One of the things that I do when I'm doing our customer avatar interviews, I make sure I'm interviewing people that are customers that we most want to replicate. So they're usually customers that have purchased our multiple items or our highest ticket items, and go through the customer avatar process after I add value to them. And at the end of our conversations of adding value, they usually say thank you. I say the magic words, or they say the magic words, thank you. And I reply, you're welcome. Hey, don't keep us a secret. Would you mind if I got a quick testimonial from you that you could share with your Facebook friends? They pretty much always say sure. I mean, in the 85 times that I've asked, 85 people have said yes. And usually what I do then is I ask 3 simple questions. The question is, what were you doing with your Facebook marketing before we met? And I write that down, and I say, what were the results that we've gotten you thus far? I type that in as well to the Word document, and then finally, who would you recommend this program to? And I would take those notes, and we usually end up with all of 3 sentences, and I would simply text it to them. And so this is my friend Georgette, and because we are Facebook friends, so Georgette purchased purchased from us, and she's in a group of a good friend of mine called Sage Levine. And Sage Levine, we've gotten lots of referrals from Sage Levine. And so one of the things that I do when I've provided value to a member of Sage Levine's group, and I can get someone to write a testimonial, or I write the testimonial and they copy and paste it, I ask them to copy and paste it in a review application, a testimonial application called Real Fan Reviews on my Facebook page. And what that does is it shares it not only on my Facebook page, but it also shares it on Georgette's wall on her Facebook page. And what does that mean? It means her friends see it. And we have quite a few mutual friends, so usually many of our mutual friends see it. And then what I asked her to do, and I said, would you mind also pasting this? And this takes her literally less than 120 seconds. It's less than 2 minutes. I just asked her, because we're friends, I can see what Facebook groups she's in, but what I can't see are the closed Facebook groups. So you see on the right, those are her open Facebook groups. I can't see her closed Facebook groups, but I know she's in Sage Levine's group because that's where she found me. And I asked her, would you mind, please, just pasting those 3 sentences in your Sage Levine group? And she said, sure. So she goes and pastes those in the Sage Levine group, and then what happens? Within the next 3 days, 3 more people come to me and purchase my product. And that didn't happen the very first time I had one person in Sage's group post this kind of testimonial. This has happened over time because I've helped now maybe 20 or so people in her group. And I always, if it's somebody in the group, I would always approach Sage and say, hey, what value can I add to you? Can I give you a trade? Can I provide you affiliate commissions? How can I incentivize you to allow me to have your people post this information post these testimonials in your private group? And anything that I can do, I do. For these influential people. What I've discovered is there's about 4 groups out there where I've gotten probably 60 customers. And so I really focus on getting my customers to find me. And the beautiful part about this is they don't even have to give me a referral. And so I've been able to identify through the customer avatar process who my customers are, where they hang out, what is it that motivates them, and how I can get them to come to me. The number one way is through these kinds of testimonials being pasted in the groups. So here's another example. This is a new friend, Carrie, who just purchased as well. So we had a very, very similar experience, and she's in another similar group to Sage Levine's, and I found her all pretty much the exact same way. So she ended up purchasing. We did the same process where after I provided her value, I got a testimonial. She gave me a review, and then what I asked her to do is she is attending our next boot camp, and so I asked her, would you mind sharing the link of our next upcoming boot camp on your wall? And again, because most of my 98% of my customers have found me on Facebook, and I choose to friend my customers on Facebook, Carrie and I have many, many mutual friends. So when she shares this link on her wall, many of our mutual friends see it. Well, so far we've had approximately 20 people share this link on their wall, and now our 30 people, our maximum 30 capacity boot camp is completely full. And it is all due to figuring out where our customers hang out, what Facebook groups they're in, and simply taking the time to interview them and to get a little testimonial at the end of the interview and asking them to copy and paste the testimonial on their private groups that they're in where we have overlapping customers and on their Facebook page. That's it. That's all we have to do to magnify the word of mouth power and leverage of Facebook. So what I want you to do now is on your next customer avatar interview, make sure you identify what Facebook groups your people are in. And remember, if you're friends with them, you can simply, if you're Facebook friends with them, you can simply look on their Facebook page. And in fact, I'm just going to go live here and show you how to do that right now. So here is, I'm just going to go to my page right now, to my Brett Gregory page. So this is my personal profile. And if you and I are friends, you can go to my personal profile and you can just simply scroll down. You can see my 1900 friends. You can see places, you can see sports, you can see books that I've read, you can see the pages that I've liked, and then you can see my 18 groups. You just click on the groups. Now remember, these are the public groups. You won't see any of the private groups that were in here, but you'll see the public groups. And these are the ones, these are great things to know and check out to see where you're overlapping, where your customers overlap. But don't forget to ask about the private groups, the paid groups, like for example, my Attract Yoga Customers Now from Facebook. So I'm the administrator of this particular group. So you wouldn't see this group on my list because it's not a public group. You'd only see it if you were a member of the group. And these are where the money is essentially. So if you can get your customers to copy and paste testimonials in groups like these, and remember, be respectful of the administrator of the group, of the person who creates the group. I do not let people spam this group. I do not let people put in any sales, anything related to sales really. It's really all about making sure that we are building a valuable community. So make sure to be respectful of that. And if you can identify who the owner of the group is through these customer avatar questions, then you can really find out something incredibly powerful. So go out and give that a try right now. And congratulations on completing your customer avatars and starting to go out and attract customers now.